Zombies is dead. It's not dying, people. It's not on its way out. It is officially dead and gone. What's going on, YouTubers Fearless? Today we're going to be talking about something that is very, very personal to me. From a game player to a content creator perspective. We're going to be talking today about the downfall of Call of Duty Zombies. Let's be honest, it is headed in a direction at the moment where zombies probably won't last in Black Ops for much longer. We're going to be revisiting a bunch of old maps and exploring some of the new ones as well. Doing some comparisons and just talking about the overall success. Now, right now on Black Ops 6 currently, we have 3 maps, with the game only being out for a couple of months. There's, of course, Liberty Falls, Terminus, and Citadel de Mort. I may not have said that correctly, but fuck you. It's pretty fair to say that these are one of the more lackluster maps that we've had on a Call of Duty release in previous titles. None of them really match up to the likes of Kino, Shadows of Evil, hell, even 9 from Black Ops 4 I'll take. And of course, every map has its flaws and has its problems, but these ones are just so bland and tasteless. But to understand how we got here, we need to dial it right back. By doing so, we revisit the first ever zombie map that come out in World at War, which I'm going to be showcasing in the Black Ops 3 version, because this will matter. The remastered part will matter later. Now, unlike Liberty Falls, Nuck the Untoten has always had that element of hardcore survival. You do not just load up a game of Nuck for fun and just play it. You go into the game with planning, strategy, quite frankly, shitting yourself, because it don't take much to die in this map, and some of the people who have got more higher rounds than others have played this longer, know just how hard it is to reach any kind of milestone. Now, you will have to forgive me sounding like a plain announcer every now and then. I am currently suffering with a cold, which is my problem. But it is what it is. I needed to get this video out because I feel like something that needs to be talked about. Now, for anyone questioning my credibility, I only upload multiplayer content. Let me just show you my stats from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 Zombies, which was when Zombies was in its prime, but we'll get onto that. As you can see in Black Ops 2 here, I have got hella kills. There's not too many deaths on there, and that is a lot of kills. Someone who will not be credible, comment on Zombies. Then on Black Ops 3 here, as you can see, I reached Master Prestige. Kind of stopped playing towards the end of it because I moved over to multiplayer, but we've got hella rounds on here as well. When I'm talking from a place of truth as a Zombies fan, trust me, it's coming from the heart. Now, going back to Nukt, this set off a series of events where Zombies maps were being piled out, Barucht, Shino Numa, Die Rise being introduced with the first Pack-a-Punch map that completely changed everyone's perspective on the game. Finally, those higher rounds were more achievable, but they were still very, very hard to do, unlike modern Zombies where high rounds just gifted to you by field upgrades and traps. Before anyone says anything, I know there's traps in previous games, but there is traps right now on Citadel de Mort that actually help you as opposed to kill the zombies. What I mean by that is you can stand in it and do hella damage and hella fire rate with unlimited ammo, and you can just keep bouncing between them. That shit makes no sense to me, because I preferred my zombies dialed down. Now, as you can see here in Die Rise, Pack-a-Punch was first introduced by having to unlock the 3 teleporters around the map, on the left, right, and at the back of the map. By doing so, you managed to lower this guard here, whilst also waiting for power-up to drop, you know, one that you may have needed at the time. Now, back then, things were pretty simple in the way of objectives, you know. Find out how to turn the power on, then figure out how to do Pack-a-Punch your guns and get your perks, and then survive. That is all you had to do. That is all the maps were really, really designed for on a base level back in the day. As opposed to modern day, where every map is just evolved around Easter eggs. Now, I know Easter eggs have been around for a long time, and they're in pretty much every single Zombies map. But we started to first notice this decline in Black Ops 4 when Voyage of Despair come out, and let's be honest, the only playability in that map, design-wise, to do the Easter egg. There was no real trading spots. There was no real points of interest during the map. Now, it was a decent map, in my opinion, but it was very, very much tailored towards Easter eggs as opposed to survival. But we won't skip too far ahead. Going back, Die Rise, after this map was released, we then saw title Kino de Toten come in Black Ops 1, which is arguably standalone one of the greatest Zombies map that ever come out. We managed to explore the Ultimus characters properly, and we start to feel like they were a part of us, you know, Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, Dempsey. We felt like we knew these guys when we were playing them because the map had that aura about it that just got us involved every time we played zombies. It was fun. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed running around the theatre, linking the teleporters, darting to the end of the map, trying to make it back before we died. Going into Pack-a-Punch for the first time on there, realising that you had all the time in the world to Pack-a-Punch your gun until you put it in there and then the teleporter took you away and you lost your gun. You had to start all over again. Now, of course, you had your music Easter eggs, a couple of little side ones, but overall the map was based on survival, which is, I feel like, on the fundamental level, zombies has always been about. We started to notice the development of Easter eggs a little bit more when it comes to maps like Ascension, Shangri-La, Moon at the end of Black Ops 1. All very solid and good maps, but Shangri-La being focused on its Easter egg basis meant that the replayability really wasn't there because there wasn't too many places that you could survive high round long term, other than activating the Pack-a-Punch every now and then and sitting at the top of the stairs. But just when we thought zombies was at its peak, the end of Black Ops 1, we was then given the ultimate zombies game, in my opinion, one of the greatest zombies games to ever come out, and that was Black Ops 2. We enjoyed the launch of Black Ops 2 with Transit. Transit introduced so much to us that we didn't even realise at the time just how important it was for us. It's that map that will always spike the Marmite conversation in today, whether people liked it or hated it. Playing zombies today never play Transit. I completely understand that today's zombies is tailored and doled down for the more casual first-time zombie player, people who are discovering it for the first time and don't want to go back and play the previous 5 titles. I get that, but that doesn't mean that has to be like that for everyone. You know, the fact that Treyarch have adopted this money-grabbing corporate launching approach at the moment, where the maps are coming out but they're so lackluster, and these fake interviews with the people making them, acting like they really care about these zombies and acting like they're really bringing it back to basics. We just know that's a lie. We don't care about being able to put armor plates on and having field upgrades, having prompts telling you what to do, having voice cues in the way of radio transmission like we're playing Warzone, having loadouts. All of this stuff is cool, but it does not belong in Black Ops Zombies. And I will always stand by that. I will always say the older gen of zombies was the best. You really can't pin today's maps up against the likes of Mob of the Dead, which you can see here was awesome. You started off and you was dead. You didn't realise what was going on the first time you loaded into this map. You just went to your player for the first time probably and just revived him, not realising there was a power box for you to do. Get a double points and they were scattered all around the map. Being able to build the Health Retriever for the first time, being able to go into Afterlife for the first time and grab the Warden's Key, realising that you was playing one of the greatest maps ever made without realising it at the time. And just when you think survival couldn't get harder enough in zombies, with them releasing the likes of Town and Farm alongside Transit, just based on survival, you then was met with one of the smallest maps to ever be released, and that was Nuketown. We had Nuketown zombies, which was hella hard. Spawning in, trying to hope that the first perk you got wasn't going to be like stamina up. As a matter of fact, it was about round 9 or 10, and you really needed Juggernaut because you knew you was going to die. Because back in the day, 1 or 2 hits meant that you was dead and that was game over. There weren't no armor. There weren't no stim shots. You know, your hand wasn't getting held because you needed both your hands on the gun, bitch, because you was going to die. Treyarch know how to add things into the game without complicating it, because then they released Buried. Now, we all remember Buried as probably one of the best maps that ever come out. Now, I remember the first time I picked up this time bomb and the first time that I picked up this paralyzer, and I realised that I was OP and I pretty much could never die. You know, the OGs will remember the tree glitch, if you know what I'm going on about. But hell, there was hella things to do inside this map. While playing this zombies map, you was babysitting Leroy the entire time. You remember him? The big hillbilly redneck stuck in the cage who you gave booze to bust out of. Yeah, he was annoying walking around the map constantly, but he opened shit up for you. You weren't getting jugged, you weren't getting none of that unless Leroy was there to help you. You weren't getting nowhere around the map unless you had the Paralyzer or Leroy. You depended on one of them. Just when we thought Leroy was enough, on our way to Pack-a-Punch for the first time, we actually figured out that there was a witch in a house that was running after you in the creepiest way because she didn't even run. If she touched you, she was taking hella points. So if you weren't careful and you weren't precision like I am here, you was getting to the end of this bad boy house with no points and your Pack-a-Punch journey was wasted. Oh, and by the way, when you want to Pack-a-Punch on this map, good luck trying to get out of it because you got to go down this stairwell and that ain't fun because one wrong step and you're dead. Not to mention you got 2 windows inside Pack-a-Punch, so you better get in and get out quickly. As opposed to Liberty Falls here where you could just open up this church door and go inside and Pack-a-Punch is just staring you in the face, ready for you to put your gun in, but you don't actually even put it in. You just hold X and then walk away. Like, how is that what we've come to? We've literally cut costs by taking away our Pack-a-Punch animation. Now, yes, you could argue it's quicker and it's easier. It saves time. It makes going to the Pack-a-Punch less of a more planned trip. But I'm not trying to be handheld. I had 5 Black Ops worth experience. I know how to Pack-a-Punch my gun. Now you're taking it away from me. That was just a bad call on Treyarch's point. I'll even give Cold War props it deserved, because at least there was an animation that you had to go into and choose a Pack-a-Punch of a gun and its mods. But they went, no, even Pack-a-Punching the gun, that's not enough anymore, sorry. You need to come over to this workbench and actually upgrade the rarity of it. Oh, and if you want to put an ammo mod on, yeah, you got to do that yourself too. They basically said, we're going to let you choose. We're going to do it for you. We're going to lay it all out so you can Build-A-Bear type shit your whole gun. Nope, gone are the days of Pack-a-Punching your gun in a proper zombies fashion. We're never going to get that back again. Now today, people describe Terminus as one of the hardest, biggest zombies maps that have ever come out. Let me take you back to the map when I was a kid that earned that title, that still has that title to this day, and the king will never be taken down. That's right, we are talking about Origins. Take it how you want. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, it don't matter. This is, and always will be, one of the hardest zombies map that ever come out. You ain't running around and sliding and using FOV scales on this map, no, because you're getting stuck in the mud wherever you go. And I know everyone remembers hearing this sound for the first time. Yeah, maybe you didn't realise what that sound was until you turned around and saw this bad boy chasing you. He grabbed you with his claw and pulled you in for a struggle cuddle when you had no idea what to do. It didn't matter, because you spent the first part of the game after looking at Mr. Rufflewaffles learning how to do this stuff, figuring out that actually you needed it to snow to pick up these parts. Going into the crazy place here to get your staff fragment. And that weren't enough. You wanted to upgrade that bad boy. You wanted something that was going to destroy zombies the whole time you was playing. So you came back again. You did the puzzles, you shot the shit, and then you went and upgraded it. Not to mention, you probably didn't have a good gun either, like I don't here. I got the KRM with no ammo. I'm trying to get this gun upgraded with nothing. But hell, I got my stuff upgraded and this bad boy destroys in one burst. Now, the reason I am showcasing the older maps on Black Ops 3 at the moment, because I really want to get in people's heads that Treyarch are capable of making old maps become like brand new again. Because of course, at the end of Black Ops 3's cycle, we was given Revelations. Now, I don't have footage from that because it's not one of my favourite zombie maps of all time. I've played it, it's decent, we all love the Apothicon Servant. But at the end of Black Ops 3, after we saw the titles of Shadows of Evil loading into the city for the first time, realising we didn't have the 1911s anymore and shit was different, figuring out that actually we had to use Pack-a-Punch in a completely different way, you know, not like today where it was handed to us. We had to hunt around the map for worms and parts and things that related to our characters, that relatability that made us want to play these characters and understand them more. And then go into the main room, place them down and Pack-a-Punch a gun. You know, we jumped from Origins and Buried straight into Shadows of Evil afterwards, like I'm doing here. And we figured out that actually it was about to get a lot harder, that zombies was changing because they were adding special enemies now. First it was the Panzer and now it was the Margwar. And this guy spawned all the time. He spawned way more frequently. He was harder to kill. You had to shoot his heads and that. And another one of the maps that got released, which have gone down as one of the greatest maps in history, and there is no question this makes a top 4 every single list that's ever made, is the Eisendrache. We thought Origins was enough with our special staffs and our elemental upgrades, and then the Eisendrache come in and blew it out of the park with the bows. The Wolf Bow, the Void Bow, Fire Bow, the Electric Bow, all very, very viable weapons, some more powerful than others like the Lightning Bow. Maybe the ones you didn't use too much like the Wolf Bow. They were good, they were fun, but long term they weren't the ones you wanted to use. You spawned into this map for the first time and realised that actually you was playing one of the greatest games in history. Still to this day, the replayability on the Eisendrache is great. You can go back and make the bows and die 10 times over. You'll still go and play it again. Unlike Terminus and Liberty Falls, where after a game, all I want to do is just play something else. I don't care about it. I don't care about the new maps. And I don't care that people care about it either. Back in the old days, OG YouTubers were pulling millions and millions of views for their videos. Now they're only just reaching between 1 and 3 million views, and that's if it's on a topic that's relevant. You had people like Syndicate back in the day doing round 115s, all gun Pack-a-Punch. Back then when the content for zombies was popping and it was fun and there was stuff to do, there was Easter eggs coming out of people's ears, but at the same time, if you didn't want to do the Easter eggs, you could play the map and just survive. Like the Eisendrache has one of the greatest Easter eggs ever. But you know what? You could still get to round 100 and not even complete a single step other than the bows. And the map would play just the same, just as fine. But after this Black Ops 3 cycle ended and Zetsubo Shima nearly killed the franchise, Treyarch came out with one of the best map packs to ever have existed. We are talking about Zombies Chronicles. The thing that everyone was waiting for, the thing that was going to revive the franchise. We was given some of the greatest maps that had ever come out in previous titles in a brand new iteration of zombies with our gobble gums and our new perks and our new ways of upgrading our weapons, being able to change the weapon kits and attachments for our guns, meaning that we could play these old games but more souped up. And that Treyarch had finally done it. They had finally listened to people and realised that people wanted old maps remastered into a different game so that they could keep the nostalgia while also the progress being relevant. Because yeah, you can go back and play these maps like I could have done in this video. You want to play these maps with the most updated progress as possible. Your camo grinding, your XP grinding. You don't want to spare 10 minutes to go and have a bit of nostalgia. You want it in your game, and that's what they did. You didn't want to go back and play Kino. Nah, you got 2 or 3 levels a game with Kino Toten on Black Ops 3, being able to enjoy nostalgia and still being able to enjoy the lifespan of Black Ops 3. You was able to play Moon again. You was able to play Origins again. This time they changed all the stuff. They changed the HUD for the staffs, the graphics. You didn't have bad weapons to kill the Panzer anymore. Now you had the Haymaker and the Brecci, which are 2 of the best shotguns to ever existed. All in all, Black Ops 3 ended off with a great life cycle of zombies. At the end of this cycle in Black Ops 3, I feel like this is where zombies started to take its decline. Black Ops 4 come out years later. And as excited as everyone was, the game flopped. Because they were bringing out zombies maps. They're brand new mechanics that people didn't care about. Now, I don't have footage from Black Ops 4 because I could not be bothered to download it. But maps like 9, Voyage were great, but the wonder weapons that you had were so lackluster, so lifeless and soulless. It really retaliated on the game. When I figured out I was playing 9 with only 1 wonder weapon and a bunch of special zombies that were like coming out of every crevice in the map, I didn't like that I was forced to use my special weapons constantly, which were a brand new addition to the game and were really, really good, but I was no longer shooting my guns anymore. I was no longer enjoying the playability of the game. I no longer cared what gun I pulled out of the box. I needed the biggest and baddest gun there and then, because otherwise I was going to die because the wonder weapons weren't helping me. Black Ops 4 tried to bring out an iteration of Mob of the Dead, which just flopped because Blood of the Dead just did not feel the same. Easter egg just took way too long in that game as well for people that wanted to complete it. And it was cool seeing our crew again went into that map. It just didn't feel like they belonged there. And then afterwards we was given Cold War. D Machine was one of the worst maps I have ever played. Now people are really going to vary this because this come out during COVID and during lockdown. People's opinion is going to vary on this because this was the first zombies we'd ever seen that was built for the casuals with all the brand new mechanics that it had. Yeah, people were playing it loads and loads and loads until they realised that it was so easy that it was boring. People who had been playing zombies for a very, very long time realised that actually this was the direction Treyarch were taking the game. They were not making this and listening to the feedback and going, okay, we need to go back to our roots. We knew, actually, they took a different approach and went on to create Black Ops 6 Zombies and absolutely destroyed the franchise. Giving us a soulless game like Liberty Falls. Giving us a lifeless piece of shit like Terminus. Trying to bring out our nostalgic memories of old school zombie maps with Citadel de Mort, which I will be the first to admit, when I first played this map, I did have fun on it. But I know it's not going to be the map that I put thousands of hours into. Because once again, you have the swords, which are the special weapons of the game, which, like the bows and the staffs, were absolutely incredible. They changed the game. They changed the way you played. Swords are just there for a bit of fun and if you want to use them. And your game doesn't really change. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter. And that's why I just think modern zombies today is just something Treyarch are struggling to get right with people. I don't know how many times that forums need to be released and videos need to be made for them to realise that the old school style of zombies without armour plates, without field upgrades, without tac maps was just the way they built their franchise. They built their franchise off Black Ops 1, 2, 3 and it died in 4. And it's been dying ever since. Because if this was the first zombies that was ever to be released, there would not have been 5 or 6 titles afterwards. Because people would not have played this shit for years to come continuously. Not like they did back in the day, not like they did with the old maps. The maps that after every release made us think, what's going to be next? What map is going to come next? How are they going to do it bigger this time? Oh, we've just had Origins. Oh, here comes Buried, or here comes Buried. Now we get Origins, you know? Oh, man, Shadows of Evil was great. Oh, now the Eisen tracks come out. You know, maps that when people played back in the day, they were just fun. People wanted to play them. People wanted to die and play again and load in again and get their liquid divinums. Go to Dr. Monty's factory and try and go into Newton's cookbook and craft your gobblegums. No, that's not where we are now. Now we are stuck with a game that we have for the next year until they eventually release another Black Ops title. Or they may never release one again, we don't know. Modern Warfare will probably bring out zombies next and do it their own way like they did. I didn't play Modern Warfare 3 Zombies because once again, like I said, I'm a die-hard Black Ops Zombies fan. And I will only ever comment on Black Ops Zombies. Every other Zombies is its own game mode, is its own iteration of the game. But from what I've seen, maybe Black Ops 6 Zombies would have been better as a version of that because it seems to match up more towards Infinity Ward style than Treyarch's. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video, guys. I'm not going to get a lot of questions with varied opinions, and I really do welcome it because it's a very subjective matter depending on when and where you join Zombies, how much you love it, what your preferences are in the game. That's why it's such a widespread topic and this video is a little bit longer. But if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments down below and I'll try and make some more. We've had plenty of Call of Duty games in the past, so there's not going to be much content running out there. Going to be coming out in a few days with some more class setup videos. Maybe a couple more videos where the boys at the Prop Hunt one did really well, so thank you for that. Thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below. It's been Fearless, guys. I'll see you in a bit.